Nvidia delivers strong earnings and the stock drops. Here to discuss is Eric Diton of the Wealth Alliance. Eric, is Nvidia a victim of its own prior success, or has the AI chip space competition just really intensified?
Let's talk about the good news first. Let's be clear. Earnings up 94%. Let's be clear. This is a $5 trillion company. When you get big, you're supposed to slow down. You can't keep growing that fast, right? The law of big numbers. They continue to crush it. Data center revenue up 75%. Gross margin expanded, went up to 75%. Revenues up 73% sequentially, up 20%. These are numbers that are virtually unheard of. And yes, the stock is down over 5%. What is going on? Is this as good as it gets? That's what the market is asking. Why? Well, about half of Nvidia's revenue is from 4 companies. And these are big tech companies. Forget about OpenAI, that's its own issue. These are big tech companies that generated tons of cash for many years. And now they're taking on big debt. The 4 big guys are spending over $700 billion this year in CapEx. A lot of that going to companies like Nvidia, Oracle, right? These companies are taking on debt and their stocks are selling off. Amazon says they're going to have negative free cash flow this year. Google's cash flow is going to be down big. Meta's cash flow down big. Okay, they're making these big investments in AI. They believe in it. But is this sustainable? Can the balance sheets continue to take on this kind of debt? And the market is getting skeptical. And by the way, it's a legitimate concern. And when you have a stock that in 3 years roughly has gone from $23 to 189, where is it now? 180 something bucks in 3 years. People have made big money and they're quick to sell if they get scared.
So specifically, how skeptical are you? Do you potentially think that this is a day to buy on the dip?
So I'm not a buyer on this dip. So what's Nvidia worth? Its PE is actually shrinking as these earnings continue to grow. But if and when they have that earnings disappointment, look out below. Look out below. So the fact that you can have these kind of incredible earnings, and they were incredible, and the stock is down over 5%, that's not something that I want to jump in on. That's something that I want to sit back and I want to wait and be patient.
AMD made headlines this week when it announced a long-term deal to sell chips to Meta platforms. Where do you see, for the folks out there who are wondering, well, is AMD catching up to Nvidia? Like, sort of tease out for us the chip landscape among these companies as you see it.
Is there any competition? Yes, AMD is a competitor. At this point, there's so much growth, ridiculous growth, that no one is infringing on anyone's turf at this point. However, if there is any slowdown that we're concerned about, worried about, then yeah, you could start seeing margin pressure as firms grapple for share. I don't think anyone is really close to Nvidia at this point. However, let's be clear that the AI world is evolving. As Wang said today, up to this point, it's been graphic processors, GPUs, that could do a billion things at once. That's what Nvidia is great at making. That's how they made their name. But as we move from training to inference, and that means inference means, I'm going to call it, for lack of a better word, thinking. You ask AI questions and AI thinks about it and gets you the answer. That's not GPUs. That's actually central processing units. That's CPUs. And CPUs are actually simpler to produce than GPUs. So on one hand, there's another market out there with CPUs. However, as the world continues, the AI world moves toward that market, I think it's easier for competitors to step in and grapple with Nvidia because those chips are not as complex. Still complex, but not as much.